Welcome back to Real Sports Talk. It's your boy, Run It Up, Ru. Today we going over the Brian Schottenheimer press conference. We're going to review that. Michael Irvin, pissed off. We're going to review his comments, and we're going to talk about where we go from here as a nation, as a fans, as a team. How do we bounce the fuck back? We got all that and more right after this. Let's go. So the Dallas Cowboys, they introduced Brian Schottenheimer as the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys yesterday. And once again, uninspiring, uninspiring to say the least. Some people didn't really have a problem with Brian and the things he said. To me, I've heard it before. It sounded like they gave him some points. It sounded like he was reaching for some points, especially when asked, certain questions about his philosophy. But we're gonna get into all that as we review the press conference here in a second. I just wanted to lay the groundwork for you guys to let you know that I was uninspired. I feel lost as a fan. I feel like as an organization, we're not taking things seriously. Whether that's being hiring our head coach, our philosophy as the draft, how we utilize that, how we look at free agency, what we're spending, and just our overall temperament as it comes to what needs to get done and the time period it takes. There's a lot of arrogance going on. But you guys are gonna have your own opinions on it. But we're gonna get to the review. So I'm gonna pull that up right now. And we starting off with why Shoddy. They asked Jerry and Steven why Shoddy. And I just want to play that for y'all right here.
Thank you. Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning
Hopefully
News.
y'all can hear
This
that.
is for Jerry and Steven. Why did you pick Brian Schottenheimer? What was it about him that you guys felt like he was the right fit for you guys?
In the almost 35 years that I've been involved with the Dallas Cowboys, I've only missed one Senior Bowl, 35 years. And I think I missed one combine in 35 years. At the NFL, over the last 4 or 5 years, the NFL, we want to come in a day early so that we can visit with prospective coaches for the future of my team and any of the teams.
Let me just pause it right there real quick, because why is it every time we ask Jerry a question, he feels as though a story is needed? They asked him a simple question: why Shoddy? We at the Senior Bowl. I mean, you can't make this up. Now we at the Senior Bowl. We just asked the question. We don't want to hear a story. We don't want to hear a story, Jerry. We just simply asked the question. Let the old man finish.
In 35 years, I don't think I've ever visited with a coach, but what in my heart and mind, I wasn't having an interview. I don't think I've ever had a coach visit with me that wasn't prospectively thinking maybe someday our paths might cross. And old Jones might give me a little thought as I'm along the way. I've been around a lot of coaches. As a matter of fact, I wanted to be a coach. Except I wanted to live better than I thought coaches lived. I wanted to drive a little bigger car, and I wanted to fly in an airplane. Had I known what
Answer
I'm
the
paying him now, I'd have been
question.
a damn coach.
Just answer the question, man.
But having said that, coaching is no, and the makeup of coaches are no stranger to me. On my college team, within almost 3 years after we won the national championship, every position coach, the Johnny Majors, the Hayden Fries, the Doug Dickies, every position coach became a head coach. Barry Switzer at Oklahoma. So I've seen it when I was a pup.
Ridiculous. Jerry is always with a story. He can't answer a question straight up. He can't answer a question straight up. He literally refuses to do that. He literally refuses to do that. And what's sad about it is that he knows he's bullshitting us. He knows he's bullshitting us, right? He has nothing good to say. But we're gonna let the man finish.
Think that you could make a decision in an interview and not have talked, if you didn't and hadn't ever communicated or had a visit, I wouldn't dare have had an interview unless I talked to many, many people that knew that person and had had those kinds of life experiences, knew their story, if you will, Shotty, knew their story. Pat is here today. Jean, my wife, is here. Pat is Shotty's mom. When I served on the competition committee, we had many times that we were together. Jean knew Marty. Okay, we knew you. We know what osmosis is, and we know what Shotty grew up around. Not just from that, but we knew. Frankly, from the standpoint of Shotty, those X hairs crossed. Shotty might never have been in our mirror or in our view.
God. It's
Had he
ridiculous.
not joined us to be with Mike as a consultant 3 years ago, and it has been a coach. I've sat
We
in
still on
handfuls
question
of
one, y'all.
meetings with
This
Shotty.
is still question one.
I've listened.
Why
I've
Shotty?
watched him. I've watched him have deference to his head coach. I've watched him have deference to experience guys like Zimmer, guys like got around. I've watched him bite his lip sometime when he didn't necessarily agree with that direction, but he bit his lip, as his daddy would have told him.
I just want to say something real quick. It's obvious that this coaching search was a complete sham. A complete sham. Um there's no way that they took it seriously. Brian Schottenheimer, he's long-winded, and honestly, I'm tired of hearing what he has to say as far as that question goes. We're going to move further along in the interview in a second, but I just want to let y'all know how I feel about this coaching search, right? And there was none, right? Mike McCarthy said, I'm not going for the bullshit. I don't care about Jason Witten. I don't want him on my staff. I'm not taking an incentive-based deal. Get the hell out of my face with that, Jerry. And he said, you already tried to block me with Chicago, but it's not stopping my shine. It's not stopping my shine. I'm not sure Mike McCarthy has a job right now. I'm not sure Mike McCarthy has a job. He'd rather be jobless than continue to with Jerry. I mean, it's only so much you can play with a grown man in his face before he's like, yo, I can do better elsewhere. And if not, I don't have to deal with your bullshit. It's quite obvious. It's quite obvious that Brian Schottenheimer had no competition in this search for a head coach. At all. At all. If you gotta go this long to explain why him, I mean, you know, that speaks volumes. That speaks volumes. That you can't even get to the point. You can't even get to the point of why you're hiring this man. Now you want to talk about his family. Now you want to talk about osmosis. The fuck what are we talking about? We have Senior Bowl, osmosis, family tree. You know, I'm gonna let it go on just a little bit longer because I want y'all to hit his stupid shit. But yeah, he's still answering why Brian Schottenheimer.
Reference to the head coach. I've watched him exercise those things. I've particularly been a part of seeing what's brought this players in here today. Guys like that. And I know that Shotty is no stranger to these guys. I know he's no stranger to this building. Now, I get my proverbial ass kicked over needing people in my comfort zone.
You need people in your comfort zone. It's quite obvious. You will not go out
this
your comfort
thing
zone.
being about me in any way.
It is about you.
If you
Jerry.
don't think I can't operate out of my comfort zone, you're so wrong. It's unbelievable.
So wrong. Look at
This is as big a risk as you could
Look
take.
at company. Look at company.
As
Dad.
big a risk as you could take. No head coaching experience. Let me share something with you. With all of that, you've just heard him reference his osmosis, his family. Anybody in this room that doesn't believe the apple doesn't go far from the tree has missed it someplace down the road.
That tree did not bear fruit of a Super Bowl.
To make it
His
that
daddy
way, and there
never
was an
won
effort.
a Super Bowl. Never.
But then you go around to the countless numbers of coaches that Shotty has served on staff with and been around, the countless players. How often do you have someone that has 25, I'm going to say 25, it may be 26, of years of working through the human relationship and working, aspiring to learn, of have his ears and eyes wide open and looking for techniques and looking for things that make coaches better? How often do you have a chance to take advantage of all of that at 50 years old, which is a puppy? Yet he's had 25 years being around the kinds of things that he's going to have to draw on to be a coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
With all that experience, why no
When he called his mother,
why is he not a coach already? 25
And I've
experience, why is he not a coach already?
heard the other end,
Why is
and
nobody
I was
looking else to
listening to
hire this
Shotty.
man? Why didn't you throw him in
And
front
one of the
Michael Irvin
things he
every
said to
time
his
you do
mama
Dan
is,
Quinn in front
"Mama,
of his face?" Now he's calling
I'm going to
his mama.
get what Daddy didn't get a chance to get, or got a chance but didn't get. And I'm going to get a Super Bowl if it kills me."
I hope it kills someone.
And his mother, of course, was emotional. This one
Fucking hope it kills
will
someone.
be for Daddy. The first one
Come on, bro. Come on,
will
bro.
be for him.
Daddy?
I don't
Daddy?
know
That's what
you
got him the
call
job.
instincts.
Stop
I don't
talking
know
about
where
you
you
can
from.
operate outside your comfort zone.
I really wouldn't dare try to tell you how
man.
Jimmy Johnson.
Hold on. Nah. It's ridiculous. Now we talking about Daddy. Marty never won a Super Bowl. He never won a Super Bowl. What are we talking about? I'm tired of Jerry and these fucking everything needs to be either a headline is a headline for Jerry, right? Before we had Deuce in the draft, his daddy making a phone call. What Deuce do for us on the field? What did Vaughn produce on the field? Nothing. Feel good story out the window. Now we hearing him talking about Brian calling his mama. Let's pan over to his mama. Who gives a fuck about his mama? 30 years, Jerry. Him crying onto the phone to his mama is not going to get us a Super Bowl. It's not. It's not. 25 years of experience, and he's not on nobody else's radar. In a league that good OCs, DCs, hell, even special teams, you show that you know your job, somebody's trying to poach you. But 25 years, and they want to talk about, well, he's had two times he was called to be for a coaching interview. Not turned the job down, not offered the job and turned it down, but he had 2 interviews separate times to be a head coach. Come on, bro. Come on, what are we talking about? Ayo Nation. This is what it comes down to. Listen to this man talk, right? It's nepotism. He's going to do what he wants, when he wants, and how he wants to do it. It is up to Jerry. We, as a fan base, this is the worst we've ever seen it. I mean, you even have media outlets now taking shots at Jerry, which they've never done before. They used to poke and, might throw a jab once in a while here and there, but it's like a full-on attack now about how this team and organization is being ran. And quite honestly, it's needed. As fans, we need that media outlet. They need guys like me to get up here. They need the Boss Cowboys. They need the Law Nations. They need the Foots, the Okoye medias. They need the Steels. They need them. They need us. Throwing this shit right back in his face. Nah, we not taking egg on our face no more. We understand what's going on. We see the bullshit for what it is, Jerry. You can't answer a single question. I pull this interview up. We still on interview 1. I'm sorry, we still on question 1. Like, come on, bro. Come on. And at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? We just not getting it done. We not getting it done. Let this man finish his point, man, because he's long-winded.
We'll go into all the psychological stuff that caused Barry Switzer to be here. Or Chan Gailey. But it wasn't just about X and O's. And it was about things that were all melded in with some of life's experience and using my own osmosis, how I got here. All of that comes to play. I've read where we didn't have but 4 or 5 interviews. It's ridiculous to think that you can make a decision to coach the Cowboys relative to the number of interviews that you might have.
How about the quality of interview?
He's a product of a lot of time.
You don't have to bring in the whole damn league. What about quality of interview? What about quality of candidates?
I've read where I don't have a penchant for risk taking.
Oh, see, he listens.
If you really knew
stop
my
mentioning
score
what
sheet,
he's hearing,
you would see that I've taken more risk in the last 5 years than the rest of my life put together.
Bruh.
And sometimes I don't know when I look in that mirror why the risk is taken.
Bruh.
With it there. Let me say this.
Cat, boy, I can't wait.
It was a huge risk to get involved with the Dallas Cowboys.
Have all kinds of sound.
Huge.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that quote unquote didn't understand or feel like it could be done. I spent a nice part, Tim Calishaw, you'll remember it. I spent a nice part of my early 4 or 5 years with the Dallas Cowboys defending why not Coach Landry and defending why Jimmy would make a good coach.
We're going to move on.
I think
because my man is not getting to the point anytime soon. We're going to skip right over here to this. We're going to skip right over here to how this gets us to a Super Bowl. They asked Jerry, they asked Shotty, they asked Steven, how does this move get us to a Super Bowl? Okay. More bullshit continues. Trust me. Let me throw that up here for y'all.
What about this move gets you to the Super Bowl? Because that's what the fans are talking about. And Shotty, by the same token, question for you and for Shotty. what difference can you make from the Mike McCarthy era from a cultural standpoint that gets them over the hump?
Mike's one of my best friends. And when you talk about what Mike and this football team has done over the last 5 years, it's been some incredible, incredible success. One of my greatest strengths is my ability to create relationships. Relationships that are built on trust, respect, connection. I'm really good with X's and O's, but I'm great with people. And the type of men that we have in this locker room are excited about that. And so I think as we build this thing out,
to a Super Bowl?
as the culture comes together of this team, that's where I feel like my greatest impact will be felt. With the relationships, the ability to communicate. I've always been someone that was very good at having open dialogue, hard conversations, and I've always tried to paint very clear, bright lines. And that's what I plan to do as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
But how does that get us to a Super Bowl? How does that get us to a Super Bowl? I'm not sure. Did anybody hear that? Did anybody hear how this hire gets us to a Super Bowl? He's big on connections. So it's relationships over championships. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing relationships over championships. The man was asked, how does hiring you get us closer to a Super Bowl? I'll text back quickly. My man talk about relationships, communication. It isn't about X's and O's. I have to disagree. Philly will tell you they keep it football over there. Everything is about the X's and O's. You want good connections? Let's win some fucking football games. Watch how everybody's smiling, dancing off the field. Watch how that locker room all of a sudden has cohesion, consistency. Let's win some fucking games. Once again, how does hiring you get us closer to a Super Bowl, Brian? I was really eager to hear your answer. And once again, you took the Jerry Jones route and told us nothing. You told us it's not about X's and O's. I have to disagree with you. It's all about the X's and O's. You want good relationships? Win some fucking games. That's how you get some good relationships. That's some bullshit. You can't get a straight answer from these guys. At all. We're going to skip on over because he's not answering how that he's clearly done answering how hiring him gets us to a Super Bowl. So we're going to ask him, why is he ready for this opportunity, right?
That you weren't ready then to take a head coaching job. Why are you ready now?
I think, over the past 19 years, when that first was afforded to me, when I was first-time coordinator with the New York Jets, and bright spotlight, I just there were things that made me pause. Now, spending the better part of the last 19 years learning, listening, doing, I've learned things, almost more things that I don't believe in than things that I believe in. Todd, I've always tried to be someone that moves around. I want to be around incredible coaches and players and try to learn from them. And so going to Seattle was, I would say, critical to my development as a coach. Pete Carroll challenged me in a number of ways. He challenged me to continue to be authentic, to continue to dive into the relationships that matter, which is your coaches, your players, ownership. He challenged me offensively, to be honest with you. He challenged me with, hey, what do you think about this scheme? What do you think about that scheme? You know, and the McVay Shanahan style was taking off, and in Seattle we were competing against, you know, Sean and Kyle, and so he was pressing me. So I just really feel like things changed for me when I went with Pete. Learned a ton from my dad and all the coaches, Mike and Steve Spurrier, all those guys. But Pete Carroll had a huge impact on me, and it probably sharpened my edge and sharpened my view on what I want this opportunity to look like. And that was a big change for me, and one that I'm excited about moving forward.
And then for Steven and Jerry.
I'm not sure what to even say anymore at this point. I mean, it's a lame duck. It's a lame duck. I mean, Deion Sanders would have came in, that interview press conference would have been lit. Fan base would have been rejuvenated instantly. I'm not saying he would have came in and been the savior. I'm not saying that at all. I do believe he would have came in and brought in a staff that would challenge these players, right? I see Shotty as a player's coach, and you have some good. I think there's good qualities to a player's coach, and I think there's bad qualities to a player's coach, because you heard him say he's good with having those tough conversations. Well, it's easy to have tough conversations when it's just a conversation. You're not the end all be all. You're not the head coach. You don't have the final say. It's very easy to have those kind of conversations. It's very easy to have those. But now when you're in the seat, are you going to be able to have those same kind of conversations with people that it seems that you're more of a friend than an actual mentor or leader to? Right? This is one of the biggest problems that I have with this hire, and I would have had if Kellen Moore was hired, is because I don't need you to be their friend. I need you to do right by them. I need you to put them in positive situations and force them to grow. Force them to grow. Y'all tell me, in your life, when have you grown the most? When you were comfortable or uncomfortable? When did you grow the most? Okay. The leadership in my building, in our building, does not know how to win. When it counts, when it matters, they know how to beat up on the bad teams. They know how to beat up on the bad teams, but they don't know how to win in the postseason. We need a leader, not just a guy who can sound like a leader when he stands up in front of a room, but as you can clearly see, if there was passion, if there was fire cooking, burning internally to be a head coach, I have something to offer this league. I have a clear vision of what I want to do. It would have came across in this press conference. It is not coming across as you have a fire burning inside for this shit, whether it was Dallas Cowboys or any other organization that gave you an opportunity. I'm not picking that up. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong in the comments. Are y'all picking that up? Because I'm not picking that up. I'm not picking up that you have a fire deep down inside that's telling you, hey, man, I need this shit because I bleed this shit. Okay? Sports is not the only place where people hang around for 25 years. It's called a pension. It's called I get paid good. It's called I do something I love. But that does not mean you are deserving of an opportunity. 25 years is not is not telling me that, hey, it's his time. It's 25 years you make of it. It's what you make of it. All I'm hearing is that you've been around. Just the guy. There is no fire coming across. I don't see any passion when I listen to this. And so we about to hop back into this, right? You got Steven and them boys about to start talking about, the drought fucks up with the air quotes. Y'all pay attention. Y'all watch this shit. Y'all, what's up with the air quotes? Y'all tell me.
Jerry, what do you guys need to do differently to support Brian and to end the 29-year drought that you guys have between going to a Super Bowl?
Well, I think we, you always have to evaluate, where it didn't go right last year. And obviously, we're also evaluating where it didn't go right, in terms of, this drought that people say we're in terms of a championship game or a Super Bowl.
What's up with that?
We just have to
not in the
continue to
drought?
make this
I'm
roster
thirsty.
better.
Are y'all thirsty for a
It'll
championship?
certainly be something that Jerry, myself, Will and his staff, and now Coach Shotty and his staff, we'll sit down and take a look and see what we have to do better. I think we got a lot of great pieces. You ask why Shotty? I think Shotty's the perfect combination of keeping some continuity, but also affecting change. And we have to support that as well in terms of being behind him and doing the things he wants to do. I've walked in Shotty's shoes. I have a lot of deference in myself as well, working with Jerry. Shotty did the same with Mike. Would he do things different? Is he going to do things different than Mike? Absolutely. I'm convinced of that. And, I think we got a great plan on defense. I think we got a great plan on special teams. We're putting that all together. That has to come together as a staff, and certainly Shotty leads that. And as he said, some of his best characteristics are communications and working with people. And I see that. I've taken that in. I've gotten more respect through this process with him, and also talking to other men about the job. But certainly we'll do a real deep dive on putting some personnel together, whether it be through the draft, free agency. I know, typically that's not been the way we've done this team, but we'll certainly look at it and, put really good, not only players, but good football character people with some of the men we have in this room right now. And we have a lot of great players on this team. And certainly no one has excuses. We had a few challenges this year on the injury front. And that's why we think we do need to keep some continuity. Certainly every team, when they're looking for a coach out there, is looking, what's in the best interest of the quarterback. Certainly that played a role here. And, Dak's not making any coaching decisions, nor does he want to. But I can tell you every team who made a coaching decision was looking at how they saw for the quarterback. And,
he don't want no
that's how
kind
you
of
win
say,
in this
huh?
league. I think we've got one of the best, if not the best, in terms of our quarterback. And he's the ultimate leader. And we just have to continue to put the pieces around. And, we're not naive. I know our fans,
Very naive.
they're not going to believe, and there's going to be pressure
We don't believe.
until we get the job done.
And even after
certainly
that,
we didn't
can
get
you
the
do it
job done
again?
this year. And our ultimate goal is to win a Super Bowl. I can
No,
tell
it's
you,
not.
I've never seen a man more driven than Jerry.
That's a lie.
This is
That's
huge
a
to
lie.
him
They're over
to
in
go
Philly.
get this championship. And I know
They're
Coach
over in Philly.
Schottenheimer believes the same thing. And I know our players sitting in the back want it. I mean, they want it. They're driven to get it. And we've got to get the right people to put around them. We'll
the
have
last time we
turnover
ever
in our
seen
roster
players
like
sit
we
in a
do every
press
year.
conference?
And our goal is to put together the best roster in the NFL.
Steve Spurrier told me, I called him and asked him.
When's the last time y'all seen players sit in the press conference of a new coach being hired? I could be wrong. I have not seen that. You know what that tells me? And they're sitting amongst media. You know what that tells me? that tells me that they were positioned there, asked to be there. They're trying to sell as if, you know, everybody is on board with this hire. And I don't think that's to be the case. I don't think that's the case at all. I don't think a lot of people in that organization are too happy about the way things are going. You know, this organization, Jerry and Steven, the way they run this, I have a feeling like there's really no air in that building to breathe freely, to talk freely. You know, I believe everybody's walking on eggshells in that building. Whether you have a deal or not, because the way they use the media, the way they talk about players, the way they handle negotiations, it's all a farce. It's all propaganda. You know, it's built up in their image, in their liking, right? Truth is flexible when it comes to the Joneses. You know, I haven't seen anybody more driven than Jerry for a Super Bowl. That's bullshit. 30 years. You can't tell me in a league full of parity that you are the most driven, and it's been 30 years since you've seen a NFC championship game, yet alone a fucking Super Bowl. Like, come on. Come on, let's be honest. Let's be real. Let's stop lying to the people. Please, we understand that you're lying. We don't believe you. We have zero faith. You right. You have to prove it. We have zero faith. Why should we? Why should we have any faith as fans? Why should we have any faith that you're going to do the things necessary to win a Super Bowl? When you haven't done this, you haven't done it so far. You have not done it so far. You tell me, as a fan, are you believing this shit? Are you believing what Jerry Jones, what Steven Jones, what now Brian Schottenheimer is telling you? If so, I got an ocean in the desert to sell you. I don't know. Just stop believing them. Just stop believing them. It makes absolutely zero sense to believe anything coming out their mouth. As fans, I'm trying to caution you. Listen to this. Let me throw this up here. And it's them speaking on the fans.
Who's coming in the driveway?
Here we go. There we go.
Well,
Right here.
He
Right.
find
You obviously know the man to your right very well. When you talk to
Yeah, right in the
fans,
front row.
fans are super impatient. They see two NFC East teams playing yesterday. Obviously, the drought that we've spoken to. I know you've spoken to fan sentiment, but why should fans buy into Brian Schottenheimer?
well, you have touched on one point. Our fans have been very patient. Very patient. And through you to them, I want to tell them how appreciative that I am of the support and of their interest in the Dallas Cowboys.
Do y'all feel appreciated?
Now, there's a whole bunch of those fans that look and are interested because they want to see me grapple,
I'm one of
grovel,
them.
whatever it is.
I'm one of
But
them.
I'm not putting that up there much. But to
You don't
those
have to.
fans who have been with us, this decision to bring Shotty in is risky. It's not a Hail Mary at all,
It damn sure
at
ain't.
all in any way.
Oh, it is a Hail
But
Mary.
it's founded over some very
It's
unique,
boom
as
or
I started
bust.
off,
It's
unique
definitely
sets of
a Hail Mary.
circumstances. I know how much our fans are into the Dallas Cowboys. And for me to be into it is no solace at all. We're interested, they're interested, I'm interested in getting to those playoffs and winning. This is the best way that we can go to the playoffs and win.
This is the best
My
way.
next one's for Brian, if I could, really quick. You've worked with Dak Prescott for 3 years now. Obviously, he had a lot of
hold on,
support
hold
for
on,
you.
hold on, hold on.
What do you feel like
We're
you
gonna get
two?
right back to it. We're gonna get right back to it. But well, wait a minute. Did he just say this is the best way for us to get into the playoffs and win it? He just said that. So not hiring a head coach with some kind of experience who's been here, done that, right? Pete Carroll left on the board, even though Mike Vrabel was going to the Patriots, he would have sat down and took an interview with you, Jerry. Aaron Glenn, you know, all these other coaches. You got Brian Flores left out there, been a head coach before, you know, defensive guru. There's people that could have came in here and interviewed for this job, but you about to sit up here and tell us that it's risky. But in the other hand, going to tell us this is the best option to get in the playoffs and win a Super Bowl. He's talking out both sides of his fucking neck, right? And it's right in front of y'all. It's right in front of y'all. I can't make this up. Let's let him go on and talk about it.
Can work on together to unlock even more of his game.
Well, before I respond to that, I'd like to go back with one thing, Nick. Like, I'm not doing this by myself. I've got the incredible support of Jerry, Steve, and the Jones family. The young men that are sitting behind you, we're doing this together. So my message to the Cowboys fans and community is we're going to do this together, and we're going to build this thing the right way. We're going to get the culture right. The X's and O's will come. That doesn't matter. But the support and the work ethic of these guys that sit behind me, incredibly humbling that they know what it takes to win too. So it's not just me. It'll be me and the staff. Your second question, I apologize, was?
You've worked with Dak for the last 3 years. What do you feel like you can get out of him? What do you feel like he can get out of you as well?
You know, iron sharpens iron, and Dak and I have an incredible relationship, just like I have an incredible relationship with all these guys. Dak and I know how to push each other's buttons.
We're going to skip forward here to Brian Schottenheimer being asked about his offensive philosophy, his strategy, what'll be different going forward. This is them talking about it right here.
Patrick Walker, DallasCowboys.com. Two questions. The first I'll lead to Shotty, kind of circling back to what Jerry and Steven both said as far as freshening things up, looking for a change. From a head coach perspective, that's going to key in on the offense. Generally speaking, how do you look to move forward as far as modernizing the offense? You talk about solving for the quarterback. What does that look like under a Schottenheimer era?
Yeah, again, I go back to my days with Pete. I think if you go back and you look at some of the things we did in Seattle, obviously the starting point for me would be things that our players do well. You're always going to start with that. If your system's not flexible enough to do what your players do well, then you're probably in the wrong business. But I'm a big believer in cut splits. I'm a big believer in shifts and motions to distort things. We're going to do a great job of marrying our runs and our passes and make those look the same. I'm proud to say that 2 different times in my career as a coordinator, we led the league in rushing, and they go hand in hand. The running game and the action passing game go hand in hand. But I would say
some play action.
There's a tempo element that we're excited to mix in that our players have all shown an affinity for. And let me expand on that a little bit. Why do players like tempo? Well, they like tempo because it allows them to play free. You guys have heard some of the play calls. Dak could rattle off 4 or 5 of them right now. They're pretty long. So when you go fast and you're playing on the ball, these guys, it's a little bit more like pickup basketball, you know. And those would probably be the biggest things that I would say from an offensive standpoint.
from a personnel and roster building standpoint, salary cap management as well for Jerry and Steven. You guys talk about learning some hard lessons, especially from 2024, depth issues once you guys were ravaged by injury. Just as far as salary cap management goes, free agency and the like, looking in the mirror is one way that you can learn things. Another way is to look at what your opponents and enemies are doing and try to kind of take from their strategies. When you look at a team like the Eagles, for example, do you feel there's anything that you guys can kind of take from their strategies, seeing as they handle free agency a certain way and they're back in the Super Bowl this year, that kind of could work for the Cowboys going forward?
Yeah, I think you certainly look at that. I think you look at your competitors in your conference, what it's going to take to have success, whether that's a 49er team or whether that's an Eagle team. Obviously, the 49ers, had the injury bug situation. And, in this salary cap era, if that injury bug hits you hard enough, it's, it can be difficult to overcome. And, but at the same time, that's the goal, is to, really do a good job with your draft, college free agency. That should be where your strong depth is. Obviously, this year we were counting on playing those guys right away.
He just said something very, very interesting to me. He just called it college free agency. Now, of course, we know he's talking about the draft. And I just feel like the philosophy with Dallas is they are trying to build through the draft, not only for our starters, but find our depth through the draft as well. One, we don't have enough picks this year to even think like that. But two, let's dip our fucking feet, fuck a toe, put our foot, jump the whole body in the pool of free agency. We need to fill holes. We need to bring some veteran leadership into this locker room. People who have won it before, who know what it takes in those moments, in that moment, to get the job done. So I just wanted to pause it because, it's a trigger word for me. College free agency is triggering for me. I'm tired of us thinking that we're going to get everything we need for this team through the draft. It's just not going to happen. In my opinion, it's not going to happen, right? Let him finish.
They had to jump right in, and as the injuries came, more and more had to jump in. And but I think the bigger thing here is just where can we, which has been our goal in the past, where can we, in free agency, take care of some core needs so that when the draft comes, you are able to take the best player on the board, not unlike we did with CD. We weren't necessarily in that draft looking for a receiver, but CD Lamb's sitting there, and it's obvious what you do there. And I think if you do some things in free agency, like we've done in the past, to really take care of your roster before the draft comes around, you have a much better chance. But certainly, you look at the blueprints. Everybody does it different. Kansas City's doing a great job bringing young guys along, and those type of things. And like a team like Philadelphia, you certainly look at the way they're doing it, where they went out and
Hollywood
did some things with some veteran players. You have to take a look at that, and then you got to find exactly what fits your core, your DNA with our players. They don't just lean on the greatest QB in the game right now. And what gives us the best chance to compete against. Certainly, you start with your division, the Eagles, the Commanders, and the Giants.
You can't compete with the Eagles.
And then you stretch that out, and what does it take, to beat the 49ers, to beat the Rams?
Made it to where I can't even
certainly
hate
those
on
are all
the
things
Eagles.
that come in the mix.
I can't even
I'll
hate
answer
on
this.
Jealous.
It's money management. Cap is financial. When I bought the Cowboys, several of your counterparts rode over with me on this little jet airplane, rode over to my home in Little Rock, Arkansas.
I'm done.
And we got off the plane and rode.
I'm done. I'm disinterested. I'm disinterested. I'm disinterested. He'll give credit to him. He can't match their energy. He can't match the energy out there in Philly. He can't. They can't. The way they operate, they cannot match the energy out there in Philly. There's no reason to mention Kansas City name. We are not even near the same boat organizationally or fundamentally through our roster. It is not even the same. They're playing with the greatest quarterback in the league right now. Probably one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play this game. Top 3 for sure. Especially when we're talking about clutch. When we're talking about clutch, when we're talking about a QB that's clutch, right? That's obviously not Dak Prescott. I'm a Dak Prescott fan. That was no shade at Dak Prescott. But Patrick Mahomes is in a whole nother atmosphere, right? So it's not even fair. And like I just said, they don't put it all on Patrick Mahomes and tell him to be great. That's not what they do. Kareem Hunt, Hollywood Brown, Hopkins, they bring in guys on top of the pieces they already had. On top of the pieces they already had. Now I wanted to show y'all my man. I wanted to show my man right here,
Dallas Cowboys hire at
Michael Irvin.
coach. I want to address all of it first.
He upset, man, and I can't be mad with him. I'm gonna let y'all hear what my brother talking about.
So much shit. I just got back here. I was dog sick. I mean, there's this flu going around, and I was coughing a lot. And I got back Thursday evening, right? I worked, of course, I speak during the first part of the week, and then I had an appearance in San Bernardino at the casino, Yamaha. I don't know how to
Hopefully
exactly
y'all can hear
pronounce
it.
it, but they were great. It was like the top 300 people or top 300 clients. We did a Legends dinner, and it was great, right? I enjoyed that. But then Thursday, I working and I'm traveling home. I get this horrible flu, man. I just felt so bad. So I get back Thursday and I'm done. I'm out in the bed. I feel like I'm out. I wake up Friday afternoon, basically. So a few hours down, but I feel like I missed a month. I don't know why. It just feels like I haven't been working or anything in a month. And I know I just got it yesterday. Got it yesterday evening. I just flew in from LA.
Land the plane, Mike.
Evening.
Land the plane. Hold on.
You know, you funny. It just felt off. When I got to the restaurant, I was down crazy like this. Man, I don't know Brian Schottenheimer. I don't know him well like that. I don't know this man. But I do know this.
Let's get to the meat and potatoes,
man.
Mike.
And I do know about this, and I know about man. That's 3 things I told you. And I'm going to break it down for you. And I'm going to talk about it. Here's my issue. We lost an opportunity here.
Big one.
I don't know what will happen with Coach Schottenheimer in the Dallas Cowboys, but Jerry's a shrewd businessman.
In other news, Florida residents are going to be happy to hear this.
I'm shocked he did not see. I was pushing for Deion Sanders to be the next head coach. And I still stand 10 toes down on that push.
I told you,
and I can't believe
he would have rejuvenated the franchise.
That we saw the mass, the understanding of all of this, Let me break this down. We have 2 NFC East teams in the NFC Championship game being played tomorrow. 2 NFC East teams in the NFC Championship game being played tomorrow. Our eyes on them. The Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Commanders.
And the Eagles have moved on.
Enemies on
the Eagles
all
have moved on.
And they're holding a position that we haven't held in 30 fucking years.
30,
The
motherfucker.
longest drought
30.
by any
30 P.
NFC East team, any NFC team, period. 30 years. I did a little letter on Speak to Jerry Jones where I was delivering information in a bullshitting way, but I was not lying. You bring in someone that was already inside as the head coach.
Osmosis.
You lose
Osmosis
things
Jones.
there
Already in the body.
that you can't
Trickle
grab
tail.
back, that I'm worried about. And let me tell you about those things. First of all, we're losing ground on this NFC, right? We know
Just
who's
watch
going
how
to be in
the
the
Giants
NFC
bounce back.
championship game. We haven't been there in 30 years. Let me just break down what that means to people. Because when people say it, he said, oh hum, oh hum, oh hum. But no oh hum to that. That's 30 damn years.
It's 30. I'm 34.
40 years is a generation. We got 30 years. Right here, right now is critical mass. It was time to bring somebody in here that could shake things up and grab this last leg of Cowboys Nation. If we got 30 years right now, life expectancy is 100 years. That means by math, a third of Cowboys Nation has never felt or lived the glory of a championship story.
Nope.
Don't even know about it.
Nope.
How the hell can they pass something on down or pass it down when they don't even know about it?
I feel
In
sorry
10
I'm putting this on my daughter.
That would have
I
been a
feel
generation that knows nothing
Cowboy
about a
Cowboy.
championship from the so-called America's team. And worse yet, that generation has seen total domination from a team named the Kansas City Chiefs, who in that span is running up on winning 3 in a row. 3 in a row. So not only are you losing football games over here and opportunities over here, even divisions over here, we're about to get our moniker snatched off our backs. Give me that.
Every time we in the
Kansas
playoffs.
City over here with Miss All-America Taylor Swift. I'm a fan. Don't come at me about that. And Miss All-American Caitlin Clark, and I'm certainly a fan of her, so don't come at me about that. All that All-American in winning. This is what this generation knows. You understand, man? Do you understand what we did? You go and hire Brian Schottenheimer. I know he's been in the league for forever. But I also know he's been playing basketball in the NFL. He's been NBA in the NFL. I call it bouncing his ass around to about 15 other teams.
Bouncing his ass around
in this position.
does
I don't
not
know. I'm gonna give him an opportunity.
He's gonna make a good head coach.
I'm certainly not snatching the star off my heart. I can't do that.
It's embedded.
There ain't nothing personal against him. It's what we needed. It's what we needed. I know what we needed. Brian Schottenheimer, I don't know the man, but I do know man. And I know man. I know when you are within an organization,
preach, brother,
and you get promoted within that organization. And I know that the Dallas Cowboys right now, they don't have curfew. So let me give you that. They don't have curfew. They don't have discipline. We were fourth in penalties this year. So how do you fix that? You go and be more disciplined? Or be more of a disciplinarian?
No, he's
How
a coach's high. He's a coach. He's a player's coach.
Because when you start saying, hey,
Softy,
jump off sides now, we're going to fine. You jump off sides, we're going to penalize. Jump off sides, you're going to have to go do some running. And everybody going to say, oh, man, you're going to start acting like an asshole after we got you the job? That's what you're going to do. If you say, okay, we haven't been meeting at night. We leave Saturday.
You can't be a boss now.
For a 3 p.m. Sunday game. I'll see you at the game on 3 p.m. Sunday. Do y'all understand? Everybody else, they show up at a hotel Saturday night at 6 p.m. That's what we did. We have dinner till about 7:30. Then we're going to go have meetings and watch film
Right.
till about 9. We'll get us a snack. About 9:30, we're gonna go in the room, play cards, hang out for a minute. The whole damn while we're talking game plan and what we must do. It's a promise made, one man to another. I will get my damn job done today. That's how you win championships. And you make the promise over and over to each other.
It's about X's and
O's
O's.
with each other. And if you're not creating these times,
It's about
together, when
X's and O's.
you will make these promises.
They
You
can't.
talk all off season about money. You don't talk about winning.
Right. Salary
And
cap
then
you to
when
death.
it's time to be talking football, you got everybody home, sitting at home. Now Brian's going to come in. What is he going to say? We're going to start showing up at the hotel. We're going to have curfew. They're going to say it again. Oh, man, what you doing, dog? Oh, okay, nigga, you going to change like this on us? Is how you going to change?
Facts.
Oh, we got you the job. That's what they're going to say.
100%.
And now you're risking losing the whole locker room. I hope I'm wrong. But I'm telling you, I know man.
He's not.
And I do know this. I know how to win championships.
Ooh. Drops the mic.
I got hardware everywhere. All my shit ain't fake.
Ooh.
Whatever they put back there,
That
that's
shit
all
ain't
real
fake,
hardware.
boy.
Ain't a piece back there fake.
Ain't a piece back there
And
fake.
it comes from everywhere, on all levels.
Ooh.
Don't tell me I don't know how to get it. And I'm telling you, that ain't how to get it.
That's, hey.
It take focus, man. It take this dedication. And it has to come from the top. Now, how do we do that? How do we do that? How do you do the same damn thing and get something different?
Insanity. Insanity.
Damn.
Insanity.
It's snatching America's team off our backs. We're losing a generation, man. A whole generation. A third of Cowboys Nation right now, never known.
Never.
How do you tell their kids about it? How can they tell their kids when they didn't know it? That's why hiring Dion was the right call. You ain't got, if you brought it, the Raiders hired Pete Carroll. He had some experience. Last time when we did Mike McCarthy, he had some experience. I gotta slap myself and say, give it a chance, man. At least they walked the walk already. Brian hadn't walked no walk.
Not one.
So what does he got over Dion? He hadn't walked the walk. Come on, man. Come on. Damn, I love Jerry. But I don't know where this comes from. I do know where it comes from.
It's nepotism.
What exciting benefits do you get as a Hertz Gold Plus Rewards member?
You get to skip the line.
Hey, yo, Mike not lying here. Mike not lying. Mike is not lying. Mike ain't lying.
Just
keeping that shit 100 with y'all.
Dude, I don't want us to become, and I'm saying this because it's real. You can mess around like Sears and miss out on becoming Amazon. That's what Sears did. Sears Robot, all they had to do was put their shit in the computer. No, they wanted to hang on to them damn books and passing it out. Old-fashioned things, and they went out. We are in a new age, Sears.
He talking.
New time. Everybody's working on these damn
He's
computers.
talking.
You should
Jerry is outdated. He's fucking Sears.
Blockbuster did the same damn thing.
Just shut up.
These were empires that we thought would not fall, and they failed because they got stuck in yesterday and wouldn't step into tomorrow. Social media is tomorrow. Dion is running social media too. These generations, this next generation that has never felt the glory of that championship story, we could at least snatch them up on social media.
Missed a big opportunity, Jerry.
Because that's part of the new thing. Get with it or get gone.
Right.
And this makes me think we're thinking getting gone. Come on, man. Jerry, this shit was more than just about football games. This was about the history of our game, of our name in this game. And this was not the decision we needed. Now, I don't know this man, and I say this again. And I hope to pray, and to God Almighty, I hope and pray that I'm dead ass wrong. But I doubt it. I doubt it.
I know I ain't wrong. I know you.
I
not
hope
wrong,
and
man.
pray somebody show up in that locker room and hear this and say, we will show this nigga he dead ass wrong, but I doubt it. But I doubt it.
Yeah, man. I mean, he said everything I needed to say right then and there. Everything I needed to say, wrap that shit all up in a nice bow and packaged it to y'all. Michael Irvin hit that right on the head with that. You know, Jerry missed the opportunity by not hiring Deion Sanders. And I'm not saying here going to tell y'all that Deion Sanders would have brought us the same Super Bowl, but what it would have brought is juice. It would have brought energy to this facility. It would have brought a new way to this facility. Let's not sleep on Deion. He's not going to let some bullshit slide past him. Deion will not accept in a win what he would not accept in a loss, right? He likes to coach men. It doesn't matter their age. Young men, old enough men to be in the NFL. It does not matter. Deion would have came in, been a motivator. He would have lit fire under people's asses. He would have made sure these grown men are accountable, showing up to meetings on time, engaging in meetings, knowing what the fuck needed to be done, knowing where you needed to be at all times. Brian Schottenheimer is not going to do any of that. Like Mike just said, soon as he tries to crack down on somebody, it's, yo, whoa, what's going on? What's going on? I vouched for you. Jerry came ask me with this where I said, yeah. I said it wouldn't be the worst thing you could do. I put my name with you. What you talking about? What I owe you, you owe me everything. 25 years in the league, never really considered to be a head coach. Never been a head coach. Right? So what he got, and let's not forget, we heard it out of Jerry's mouth. It came out of Jerry's mouth. He said this was the best thing to get us to the playoffs and the Super Bowl. Y'all heard that out of Jerry's mouth. Y'all heard that out of Jerry's mouth. He said that. What he got over Deion. What he got over Deion. You know what he got over Deion? He has the ability to kiss ass. That's what he has. He has the ability to shut it up. You want it your way, Jerry? You get it your way, Jerry. Y'all didn't hear in the interview. I skipped past it. Earlier interview. He said that he come from criers. His family are criers. Multiple times you've seen him almost get choked up and cry on the damn stage. Just to know you don't deserve the fucking job anyway. You just heard Jerry call you a risk one hand and then go and try and tell us with the other hand that you are somehow the best option to get us to the playoffs and Super Bowl. What you know nothing about as being a head coach. You know nothing about that. So Mike hit it right on the head. Jerry missed a big opportunity when it came to this hire right here. It was more than, like he said, than what was going on in the field. That room, this locker room, this establishment, this organization required some accountability. Brian Schottenheimer is not coming in holding anybody accountable. Let's not kid ourselves at all. At all. But yeah, I just wanted to throw out this, this press conference review. Talk about what's next. I feel like, of course, they're going to hire a defensive coordinator. Matt Eberflus has been floated out there. I'm not sure if they signed him already or if they're going to sign him, but where there's smoke, there's fire. So he'll probably be our defensive coordinator. Now, I'm not necessarily hating that just because, he is a defensive minded coach, and before he got his job, he was able to do some things. He's been with Dallas before, right? So he's very familiar with the building and stuff like that. I would have preferred to keep Zim, but I don't blame Zim for not wanting to work under Brian Schottenheimer. He deserved the damn job more than Brian Schottenheimer. No, you seen Mike Zimmer's new wife, man. He about to go off and find a cushy job. Maybe he gets a college job. Maybe he just retires all around and enjoys his wife and enjoys the time with her. Maybe that's what he does. But I would have loved to see him come back and just get another year with these guys, them already being in the system, understanding what he's looking for, adding another piece through the draft, and seeing what Mike could have did with that side. I do believe Mike was bringing some accountability to the whole organization, because you just can't have a guy, holding this part of the football team to a certain accountability while this whole other offensive side is just doing whatever the fuck they want to do. So Mike couldn't stop the penalties. I doubt Brian can stop the penalties. So as far as where do we go is here, we're going to hire that defensive coordinator, and then all eyes should be on the draft, right? Since we look at it as free agency, all eyes should be on the draft. Of course, there'll be other coaching hires within the building, some assistants and stuff like that. But ultimately, man, I wanted to come with this video because I'm uninspired. I'm not happy. I am thankful that I started my channel when I started my channel. I know it's still growing, still on the hunt for 100 subscribers and more. But I'm really trying to hit my goal. But until then, I'm having fun. I'm enjoying my time with y'all, bringing this content to y'all. So I hope y'all enjoy it. Make sure y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and comment, right? Show me some slack. Subscribe, like, and comment. We appreciate y'all. And it's been real. Let's go.